We are back with some more Resident Evil 4. Now, the question is, why are we back with Resident Evil 4? Well, the obvious answer is that the Mercenaries mode is out. And, yeah, so it's been about 2 weeks since I would say the game launched. I think it's been about 2 weeks now. And, I didn't actually know the Mercenaries mode was going to be added later on. I just assumed they hadn't included it for whatever reason, because I just clearly do not do my research. But I finally finished Resident Evil 4 yesterday. Really enjoyed the game from start to finish. One of the few games I've played in a while where I've gone from beginning to end and not actually ever gone, really hope this kind of ends soon. Really took me by surprise. Great remake, great game. If you haven't picked it up, you're missing out. But yeah, I finished it last night, went to go uninstall because I was pretty much done with the game at that point. Only to see there was a new add-on in the form of the Mercenaries. So the Mercenaries is a pretty standard horde survival feature. Well, it's not really a horde survival because you can actually beat the level. So if your character has a crown by it, it means they've basically killed all the enemies on the level. The goal is simply to just get as high score as possible. So yeah, we've got, got leaderboards, which I'm sure some people are going to absolutely just eat up. I think I was 6,000th place like a couple of hours ago, and now I'm 8,000th. And then obviously you can check out people at the very top who are just absolutely insane at the game, or hacking, depends. We don't know if they're hacking yet. I imagine they're just that good. But, yeah, we have the Mercenaries mode. Now, the Mercenaries mode, as a game mode, is great because it pretty much just says, if you enjoy the gameplay of Resident Evil 4, just go out and do that. Don't worry about anything else. There's practically no resource management, even though you do pick up ammo and whatnot, but for the most part, you're never really running out. It's all about killing, as many people as you can, sort of as stylishly and as explosively as you can. So you need to rack up kills to keep up your combo counter, and the higher your combo, the more your score sort of starts to multiply. And each character has their own version of a mayhem move, and they all have their own weapon types. So for instance, with Leon, during his mayhem mode, his abilities, including attack power and speed, are greatly increased. Luis literally just sets down dynamite, and it's so good. Krauser basically turns into Devil Trigger Dante and even has a stinger attack. It's absolutely phenomenal. And Hunk is just broken because he has infinite ammo and a machine gun. Each character has their own sort of subset of weapons and everything. Every character has their very specific loadout. So for Leon, he's got a pistol, knife, a shotgun, and a sniper. Luis just has a pistol, a knife, and a sniper, with some couple of odds and ends. Krauser has the explosive bow he tries to murder you with, his fancy knife, and the TMP, I think it is. And then Hunk just has a submachine gun and a knife, but he can also melee kill pretty much anything instantly if he gets the chance. So each character plays completely differently to one another, at least in terms of their loadouts. There's only 3 levels: Village, Castle, and Island. Village is pretty standard. Castle gives me anxiety because the entire time you're being blown up by people in with their trebuchets and stuff, and it is very distracting and it is very hard to deal with, but you kind of get used to it. But yeah, you can destroy the trebuchets and the catapults before they, murder you completely, but if you keep missing it because there's a horde of Las Plagas about to murder you, it's kind of very distracting. And then Island, the main gimmick is that some of the people have rocket launchers, which is, not an ideal situation to be in. So as it stands, there is only 3 levels and 4 characters. I don't know if they're going to update this mode. I don't know how far Capcom plan on sort of expanding the content base for this one. I think it'd be really fun if they added new loadouts, new characters, new stuff like that. But, it is just a side mode for the Resident Evil 4 remake. But As far as side content goes, the Mercenaries mode is a lot of fun. I think the first time I played a Mercenaries mode was, oh god, this shows my age. I played the weird 3DS one when it came, no, not when it came out. When I got a 3DS finally, I think it was the first game I picked up on 3DS because it was super cheap and I enjoyed what I had played of Resident Evil 5 to a degree at least. The Mercenaries mode was fairly enjoyable. I will say the Mercenaries mode in this one is solid. I've not tried out the one that's in Resident Evil 8. At some point I need to pick up Resident Evil 8, but I still need to actually play and finish Resident Evil 7, but that's neither here nor there. I will say now, I adore the raid mode in Resident Evil Revelations. Specifically 1 more than 2. I just haven't really played 2's raid mode much. I love raid mode. I think it's just because it's basically Mercenaries, but it's mission based. And you get to collect gear and stuff. And my years of playing Diablo and World of Warcraft has not been kind to me and my loot goblin tendencies. But yeah, the game mode itself, going back to it, is just exceptionally fun. If you've played and beaten RE4 Remake and you're kind of done with it, there's not really much reason to go back to the Mercenaries mode. I mean, it's just more of what is already great about RE4. But if you finished RE4, you're not into going over, you know, more difficulties, that stuff like that, the Mercenaries mode is a great way to just kill 10, 20, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how hard you want to chase high scores. Like, I'm not a massive high score chaser myself, but the fact that it gives you the opportunity to literally just go, I want to shoot 150 zombie type creatures, people, whatever you want to call them, the Las Plagas, directly in the face while getting a high score attached to it, just allows you to do it. And it is so much unadulterated fun, and the mayhem mode is such a good addition because it means you can have a personal preference for your character. If you want to make things easy, you can play as Hunk and just have infinite ammo, headshot everything dies. It's wonderful. Whenever a boss shows up, you just murder them just so hard, and it is fantastic. Leon's is a pretty standard one, but he feels faster, he feels stronger, it's nice. Luis is just top notch. He literally just places the dynamite and then you can run away and then boom. And it's basically, you get like 2 or 3 essentially grenades for free during Mayhem if you can time it correctly. It's fantastic. And then Krauser allows you to just be a complete power fantasy because the dude has an explosive bow, he has a submachine gun that almost never runs out of ammo, and he can literally turn into a demon devil creature thing that is somewhat reminiscent of Devil May Cry, because his special attack is called the Stinger, which, as we all know, RE4 originally was... DMC was originally RE4, and then they were like, oh yeah, this isn't Resident Evil at all, so let's make Devil May Cry instead. So it makes sense that they'd sort of play back to that, but just everything the game mode has to offer is a lot of fun. It legitimately is just, how much fun did you have with just the pure shooting gameplay of RE4? Did you love it? Then the Mercenaries is exactly that in bite-sized chunks. Obviously, if you weren't so into that, this game is not really for you. And again, if you're not that into achieving a super high score like myself, it may not have a ton of content for yourself, but for the most part, it's just a fun little side mode to play at the end of the game, or at the start of the game, or just in the middle of the game. It's a fun little thing no one has to take seriously. But if you're someone that just absolutely resonates with this type of game mode and gameplay, I can just imagine the theory crafting and the routing that comes with this, and how satisfying it's going to be, and how enjoyable it is to compete with others to see who can get the highest score on which character and all that stuff. But you know, I will leave that up to the experts, of which I most definitely am not. But I thought I'd just make a short, quick little video to let everyone know, if you loved RE4 Remake, the Mercenaries mode is out. Do yourself a favour and play it, because it is a ton of fun. Will they add more to it? I really hope so, because I think it would add a bit more to it, and it would make the game, you know, just a little bit more exciting. Not as if it's not exciting enough already, but you know, more content is always a great thing. But that's all I really have to say on the matter. Thank you for those that stuck around until the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Mercenaries mode. Is it something you've been really looking forward to? Did you even know it was coming out? Or are you not that fussed? Let me know in the comments. I've been James, the Mayor of Jamestown, and until next time, goodbye.